It's the Jim Fannon Show. We've come to take your mind.
Am I still on?
Jim Fannon Show.
Sandor Ligetfalvy is in the house. He's also Grant Lafish online. Buckle in. Welcome aboard.
Water's nice. Water's nice.
Fucking guy.
That's right.
Always.
I'm in.
Why do you always gut my fucking
by the
intro?
beach.
Why? What are you doing walking on my intro, dude?
I literally can't hear it.
Oh. Well, you should be able to hear it.
Nothing.
Oh, well, at least you can hear me.
Nothing.
Anyway, Shandor's my guest.
Here
he is on the Twatter, and here he is as Grant Lafish on the Fake Book. Welcome
right.
aboard, brother. It's been a while.
That's my only.
You've
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh no, dude, you're welcome. Thanks for making the time. And you've been kind of quiet. I know what it's like. I've been kind of quiet. We haven't really talked in weeks. Maybe approaching a couple months. I don't know. That's not like us. Normally we're in the thick of things and whatever. But I know what it's like to get burnt out on this stuff. And so, first of all, I just want to get caught up with, like, where are you? How's your head? How's your family? How's the kid? How you doing? Like, tell us all about like where you're at and what's up.
Sitting by the beach under a nice palm tree. In Niagara Falls. Kid turned 2 years old a few weeks ago. That's an accomplishment. He is still alive. We've succeeded that much.
Good.
We've succeeded. You know, when the kid was born, people were like, "Congratulations!" And I was like, "Could you congratulate me when I don't kill him? Like, can you congratulate me when we actually succeed at keeping this kid alive?" So now it's been 2 years, so I'll accept those congratulations now.
Yeah, that's what I liked about.
And Thank you to all the other men in the world for lowering the standards so low that all I have to do is just stick around to be a good father. All I have to do is be in the vicinity. So thanks, other men, including my own father.
You said a lot there, man. Fatherlessness is the number one ill of our day these days. It's the root of all evil right now. And the traditional family and lack of fathers in the home it's fucking ruined everything, bro. So I'm with you on that one.
I am a product of a single mother. I am a only child of a single mother. Imagine that with my personality. So I was
that actually explains a lot.
That explains a lot. The only child of a single mother.
I didn't know you were an only child.
Toronto, Ontario, 1983.
Okay.
And born and raised in the big city. I remember buses, I remember subways, I remember big buildings, and my mom's church. My mom took me to church since I was 2 years old, and it was a non-denominational church, so it wasn't Catholic or Protestant. It was like kind of like a New Age hippie church where they would rent out school auditoriums. So from a young age, I was very interested in going to campus because all of the church meetings were on these campuses. So I went to like University of Toronto, Carnegie Hall. I was like 3 or 4 years old running around the basement of Carnegie Hall.
Cool.
And Roy Thompson Center.
Nice.
They'd rent out these huge facilities.
Right.
And we'd run around the basements of these facilities. And so I was always drawn to sort of like, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to campus one day. I'm going to go to college. And so I ended up doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of like a bit of a profile to bring me from scratch, because actually a lot of people, you don't know me. You don't really know me. And sometimes I forget who I am myself.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell are you? Jesus Christ.
I'm a
Where were you born?
political fugitive. My father was born in a taxi cab on the way to the hospital.
You were born in a taxi
No,
cab?
my father was.
Well, I didn't ask about him.
That's where the lineage of Jim Fannon started. So he's
Okay.
he's actually Joseph James, and I'm James Melville. So I'm not Jimmy. I am Jimmy, and I'm Jim Jr.
Will you get that smoke out of my face? I can't breathe.
And no, I mean, I've been in Dominican Republic for 7 months, and I'm a realtor again. Weirdly, I didn't practice real estate for the last couple of years that I was in Canada.
Hustling? Flipping?
Yeah, hustling hotels and resorts, and even
awesome.
rentals today. I was hustling, which gets me in the
Need a
doors for hotels and
need a
resorts.
graphic designer? Is anyone around there
Actually,
need a
you know
graphic
what?
designer, illustrator,
I'm glad you mentioned that because
web designer, programmer?
yeah, because you put that up the other day on, I guess it was. Oh no, I think you just commented today. I think you commented something about taking applications or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because someone replied to me on Twitter.
Yeah,
Get a
and
job.
It's
So
funny
I'm like,
because I see
yes,
you replying
please.
to her. I don't know who
That
she
would be
is,
a
but I go
great
check
idea.
out a couple of her posts, and then I have to comment on one that she's posted that doesn't get any comments at all. Like she had 2 comments on it, so I
We're
said
talking about the
something
Rachel
smart-ass.
Gilmore?
Yeah.
Rachel
I've
Gilmore
gotten
maybe?
away from trolling on Facebook and the politics on Facebook. I'm going
Yeah.
to start doing more just like fun Dominican stuff and real estate stuff on Facebook. I'm not going to.
I haven't been on Facebook at all.
Yeah.
I pulled the plug.
I'm getting no action on Facebook anyways. I'm so throttled. Like
Is anyone watching us having this conversation? Hello to our viewers. Hello, viewers out there in internet land.
Yeah, I don't know where
Paul
they all are. We
Paul
got
Layton with us?
we got a bunch of viewers. Layton's usually. Yeah, there he is. Layton's there.
Hey, Paul.
Paul says palm trees. Nice, Sandor.
That's right.
Laughing my ass off.
All natural.
Shut up, Layton. So yeah, we got
Easy with
more
the
listeners than I've had in a
abusing
while.
your
so,
audience. Gosh.
yeah, so I'm hustling down here, trying to make it work. It's been a wild ride. It's 7, going on 8 months now. I can't even believe it. There's
Congratulations.
lots to be grateful for,
Congratulations.
and lots to immediately take for granted. Like
Yeah,
you
well.
don't know, but it's hot as Haiti. Like literally, it's hot as Haiti down here. Funny that was always a thing that I described it as when I was at home, and now, well, Haiti's right over there. So yeah, it's warm. We're
That's
heading
right.
into summer right now.
Political
so-
fugitive.
By
My goodness.
8
Nice way to
o'clock in the
describe
morning,
yourself.
it's well, I mean that's what they say, right? But 8 o'clock in the morning, if you don't get your walk in by 7:30, it's thick out there and it's warm. It's
Right.
93, 95
Right.
degrees, feeling like 110. So that's what I'm up to. Still broadcasting, still doing whatever, but concentrating a little bit more on real estate. So, and I think that's why we really haven't spoken. I think you pretty much went dark and took a break and regrouped and came back. And so welcome back. I'm glad you're back. And
Did I come back?
well, I don't
Did I
know
ever
that
really-
you're even gone, but
I've always been on Twitter.
I do have you on notifications. So anything
I
you
was lurking. I was lurking pretty
yeah,
low.
okay.
Well,
So-
2022 has been a bit of a rough ride, and 2021 was a bit of a rough ride.
Mhm.
2020 was a bit of a rough ride, and I haven't finished processing 2020, or 2021. So I'm checked out. I'm like, 2022. It's like do. I started a little podcast, NiagaraProtagonist.medium.com.
It worked well,
Okay.
actually. I watched pretty much all of them.
Thank you. And I thought, hey, this could work. And so it was January 29th I started out. And by February 14th, I'm like, I was in the middle of a broadcast and I just stopped. I just stopped.
Well, you don't
I just-
really get how taxing mentally and physically broadcasting is. Like, I think, I did a couple
I was
hours the
every
other
2
day.
days. That was my plan.
Yeah, it's
every 2
it's
days.
not easy to do, man. It does take its toll on the body and the mind, and I mean, even when I was on the radio, when everything was getting done for me, when you didn't have to worry about the technical aspect of it at all, people thought,
Right.
oh, it's easy, you just go on the radio and just talk, but there's a lot more to it, man. There's a lot more involved mentally and with the nervous system, and I give you credit, man. You did a nice job, so props to
I
you
told
for
a
even
couple of stories
for
that
trying it.
needed to be told,
Mhm.
but they were a little bit soft-spoken. but I told a couple of stories that needed to be told, but they were out of sync with what was happening in the world. So like, I started my podcast series with the idea that I would tell the story of what happened in Niagara in 2021, more or less, right? So, you know, I started on episode 1 was about Carrie Porter always calling everyone a racist. Everything is a nail to a hammer. You know, I got into some Hergy stuff, and I, you know, really got into Grant Lafish, an hour and a half explanation of our various the reputation that Grant has with us, and so an in-depth explanation, but it seemed really out of sync with what was happening in the world in Ottawa and so forth. And then by the time the February 14th emergency order was declared, and then the rollout, and I'm like, I can't podcast what I was gonna podcast, and moreover, I didn't really feel worthy to ask for people's attention at the time. It was like, you know, hey everyone, there's all this other content to consume, but spend an hour with me, and I didn't feel like doing it.
Well, that's the worst part. You know, you can't really let that get to you, because what you're doing is, and you know, that's why I told Primo, dude, you got to jot these things down, write a book. Like, you got a book.
I had to
in
get
you,
this
you know?
fresh webcam too. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Fresh webcam.
But what you're doing, a historical account of stuff that'll be there forever. So you're making history by putting it down on paper, pretty much in the digital form. And the evil one sneaks up on you and tells you you're a piece of garbage and you don't deserve anybody's attention and you're no good. And that's what,
you know, I
ultimately
get her emailing me. The evil one. I have this friend from high school. Does anyone else out there have friends from high school? I have this friend from high school. One day I did something that I'm not going to discuss on the internet, and I ran away from home, and I showed up at her apartment, and I confessed to her what I did, and she was there for me. And then we were friends for a good 5 years. And now about 15 years later, she's a woke commie, and she sends me emails about how much of a horrible person I am. So she knows my psychological makeup, she knows my background, and she has denounced me. That's what we're dealing with. And is it relatable to anyone else out there who is living in the psychological ruins of their former selves? Anyone? No? Just me? Probably not.
It's taking its toll, brother.
Ooh.
So where are you right now? Like, where's your head at? What are you passionate about? What are you thinking? Where is your headspace right now in these times?
Well, you were talking about laying low, and I was reflecting on that, and part of it is I have some sort of, and this is self-diagnosed, but I mean, I just looked into it, and I've been sitting here thinking about what the hell's wrong with me, and I'm like, I have a bit of a post-traumatic stress issue, and you know, you scheduled with me to talk to me on 2 days ago on Saturday,
right?
And the idea of talking to you, which means reflecting on everything that we've been through, gave me an absolute migraine and knocked me totally out, as focusing on these things might do. So I was totally off the radar until Alicia Herder messaged me and said, hey, guess what? We're doing the lawsuit. And I was like, all these neurons that I had basically been like, listen, I got other things going on.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Alicia was actually going to do the lawsuit. I didn't have any reason to doubt that she would, but it's been 15 months, and it's like nobody's told me what's going on. So it definitely sparked me back up in terms of, I'm going to tell my little story on Twitter. So you've seen me reactivate in that regard, you know, basically digging back up everything I know about everybody.
Well, you're the guy with the receipts. That's why we love you. You've got all the receipts, man. You got all the buried bodies.
I got the receipts.
And you bring them back up, and it's so easy to just retweet it and quote tweet it. I love it, brother. Thank God you're back.
Well, you know, I'm not the only guy doing that game, but I'm the guy who did it for Niagara. Well, I'm like the Niagara guy.
You're
the rest
meticulous
of the world,
when it comes to facts.
I learned
and
from the
timing.
best. You know, I learned from the best out there in much larger scopes and contexts.
Good.
You know, shout out to, for example, James Lindsay, Conceptual James on Twitter, a must follow.
Okay.
You know, shout out to Wocal Distance. and so forth. You know, these are the must follows out there, and pretty much anyone who's following the American political discourse, the anti-woke political discourse.
Make sure you tag him in the comments of the broadcast. I'll go follow him.
James Lindsay, the man, the natural follow-up to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson fell off for a bit. James Lindsay's became the guy, in my view.
Interesting.
He's the guy who coined groomers.
Okay.
He's the guy who says, "Okay, groomer."
That was great.
Yeah. So that was a very influential and pivotal turn of phrase. All right. So what have we covered so far?
Well, we still haven't got to where you're at. So you got kicked back
sip.
into it because of Alicia Herder's lawsuit against Grant Lafish. For those that don't know, I should probably chase her down for an interview as well.
Fill her in.
Now she
wants to.
Oh, maybe
she
can't do it
to,
before the criminal trials dealt with.
She can't click like on anything that pertains to aforementioned individuals.
So you get kicked back into the neurons start firing again because you get a call from Alicia, and then so now you're back in a limited capacity, probably being careful. But where are you at? Where's your head at? How you feeling? How's the family? What do you feel like moving forward?
I'm a total mess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an absolute disaster. As I was describing, I'm sitting here wondering what's wrong with me, and I'm speculating that there's a post-traumatic stress issue, and among those symptoms of post-traumatic stress is avoidance. So talking to you, my friend Jim, is actually reminding me of how much fucking stress I went through in 2021. I mean, who did I talk to exactly coming out of jail? Like the next day, let's go online. Let's tell everyone what jail was like. Talk to Jim. Who do I talk to during the being gaslighted about being racist? Talk to Jim. Yeah, even Jim himself as a person was totally obliterated by these feminazi mafia, and there's nothing we can fucking do about it. Even raising our voices to criticize them is ruined because some asshole is a vandal, and we can't even point the finger where it belongs in terms of what they did to us. So it's a bit hard, to be honest. It's hard.
You know what? It's hard to hear from you because, one, I didn't experience what you went through. Two, you got every right to feel that way because of what you went through. Like I'm not at your level in the terms of experience and the emotional distress that it caused. But yeah, I mean, I've been in a jail cell overnight. It's not freaking cool. And I did not go down the way you went down. And then, there's those that'll say, and even you probably said to yourself, maybe, I put myself in that position. I'm responsible for everything I did. Like I brought this on in one way or another. I am at the cause of my own life. And so then you start feeling guilty because who does that to themselves? But there's a bigger,
I feel like I touched
here.
an electric fence.
Yeah, well, I said, but for me to listen to you say that is difficult for me because it hurts me because I feel like, fuck, I didn't get it, what you were going through. And it's completely valid. And I hope you get to the bottom of it. And I think you will because
24 hours in jail is, losing my 10 years of Facebook is much more neurologically damaging.
No.
It was... Because how does one define who they are? I can't remember everything I've ever thought of, all my contacts, all my friends. Imagine 500 people who think I snubbed them, who think I unfriended them because I lost my Facebook account.
Yeah, I know that.
How am I supposed to how am I supposed to go through that list and be like, hey guys, don't worry, I didn't unfriend you? It's like my entire psychosocial identity was obliterated. And the only reason that happened is because of a petty corporate journalist, Grant Lafish. The only fucking reason that happened. He's the guy clicking his copy strikes and his little bullying things on my Facebook, getting 10 years of my shit censored. And one cannot live in the feeling of outrage. You can't live in the anger. It's like touching an electric fence. It's like, and then you're just you're pumped, and then you deplete, and also communicating in that way where you're angry communicating. It's just look, I got other things to do. And that's what's so frustrating, because when you talk about when I talk about the PTSD idea, it doesn't start May 8th, 2021, when I spent that amount of time in jail. Maybe it starts in May 2020, watching, the YouTube channel You Can't Stop Progress, the Twitter account I Hypocrite. You know this guy? You know their work?
Okay. I don't know the YouTube channel, but I know the Twitter address. I don't follow him that, but he does pop up for me a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I watched some of those videos from the George Floyd riots in 2020. I watched those videos. I don't know. I don't know if you were like me and you're like, I have to watch every single clip from every single angle in every single city where there's a riot. And I watched it all. In fact, there were some of these places, there were these like 16 videos on the screen all at once, live streaming from every location.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there for day after day watching the violence. I hear the reports. Dern, right? Michael Dern, is that the correct name? Who's the police officer who was shot dead in the street trying to stop a man from
David Dorn.
David Dorn, thank you.
Right. I watched him die pretty much live on Instagram.
Right.
Fucking broke my heart.
Right.
It wasn't live, but it pretty much was live.
Was it around June 6th, 2020, maybe around then?
No idea.
So, George Floyd gets kneeled on May 26th.
Right.
And every single day up until that day, I was programmed from January 2020 until May 26th. You can look on my Instagram at Axiometric Gains. You can look back at my Twitter. I was dedicated and focused and everything. And then I watched all those videos and I was touched, upset, disturbed. And like, these are faraway cities, not Niagara Falls. It's not like they're burning down my street, not down the street. But my mayor took a knee to those rioters.
Yeah, it's called rage.
No, he didn't take a knee to those rioters. He took a knee with very nice people here in Niagara Falls who aren't those rioters. Okay, so it's a different issue. I'm not going to try to say the people
but it was still
who
Black
marched
Lives
in Niagara
Matter,
Falls.
wasn't it?
But there's, and Carrie Porter's tweet at the time, she's like, Antifa, I love Antifa.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Antifa is literally burning shit down. So like, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm trying to elucidate and describe is the terror I observed and experienced in May of 2020, in June of 2020, and that society at large experienced. And then draw us into a very focused issue, and that's the matter of what Dave Bilsma said on the radio in June of 2020, that they did an integrity commissioner report that cost $20,000. The integrity commissioner report sided with Black Lives Matter, saying that Dave Bilsma crossed the lines by questioning Black Lives Matter. He's a politician. He can't question a political movement.
Well,
so,
what was the actual event? What was the sin that Dave committed? Tweeting or saying all lives matter or something? Wasn't that it?
Yeah, he was invited on CKTV to speak upon why. Hey Dave,
and he's
hey,
a
Dave,
Christian.
Why isn't it just a default issue for your city to raise the pride flag? I mean, it's June, raise the flag. Well, we've never voted on that, and so we believe in a democracy, and until we voted on it, we're not going to just go ahead and do that. Well, aren't you just a bigot? So he had a half an hour conversation where he explored a variety of topics, and among the topics he explored was identity politics and how divisive the SJWs are. And of course, I say this in the exact context that he said this, the same week that shit's burning down all across America, in the name of the movement he's criticizing. So all of that context is like wiped away. Oh, it doesn't matter that billions of dollars of damage took place and dozens of people were murdered or died and so forth. None of that matters. He said the evil phrase, the dog whistle.
According to Wally Sendzik.
Wally Sendzik's dog whistle, all lives matter, which is just like, I don't even know if that's what he believes. Anyway.
No, he's just good at
So that was very frustrating. So, the fact that my contemporaries, so I mentioned De Bilsma and council, those are just government stuff, but my contemporaries as well. For example, that friend who emails me, that ex-friend, that evil ex-friend who emails me and tells me how pathetic I am. She was very much on side with the cause and made sure to tell me so. And it was psychologically damaging to both observe the violence and then to understand that many of my contemporaries and my media ethic, the media, the government, everyone was taking the knee. It was the disparity between, on one side, I have in my mind all of the visuals of all of the violence, and then I have all of these like lefty Canadian idiots who didn't see those videos, thinking they're just standing against racism, man. And that was sort of the beginning of the unraveling of my psychology. And then by the time August came around, I was peeling stickers.
Okay.
So I peeled the stickers, which was like my phrase at the time was reverse the iconoclasm. An iconoclasm, like they're knocking down statues while raising up their new symbols. Knock down their new symbols.
Nice.
And then so that was, it was literally a parody of a riot.
Right.
I'm gonna go peel up some fucking stickers.
Get fucking trespassed from a Shoppers Drug Mart. I got you know what? And I really.
It's hard to regret, and I do. But
you know what? But I give you credit, man, because I go out of my way to not play the victim. You know what I mean? But when you think it, as you're putting it down, you say the Facebook thing. Yeah, if I lost my Facebook, all my pictures of my mom and like everything's there, right? Yeah. And I feel it on the level of the YouTube thing because it was just starting to make some money. I was hitting that, what was it, 6 million views or something like that? Like 6,000 subs, 3 million views, and it was fun. Because I had a platform, people were tuning in for my show, right. Not just this 1, 2, 3, 6, 10. By the way, we're doing better tonight than I normally do, and then at some level, I went through what we all went through that when we were on the front line, speaking out and speaking at events and emceeing and doing whatever and taking the charges and all the stuff that goes on, and then getting trespassed by the city. Who was it now? Can't even remember. 88 security or whatever from the beach. They trespassed me from the beach. The whole last summer was bullshit with NRP and cops and all kinds of things. And I'm going, when you think like that shit can take a toll on a man, you know what I mean? It's not, but anyways, I give you credit for acknowledging it and speaking about it because somebody's going to identify with it and it's going to help them. Definitely, because I'm too desperate right now. I'm trying to fucking actually live here, Yeah, my country hates me. Not literally, but I joke. My country hates me. That's why I left. And I take a lot of shit for granted down here, but it's a different game, dude. Yeah.
And the cult.
And so here I am, blessed. I can't believe how lucky I am and how easily it's taken for granted. And then you're one of the guys that didn't get out, hasn't gotten out yet, that hasn't figured it out, that's got the family and got some, got some goals that were put on hold for 2 years, let's say, plus, moving backwards.
I could have opted out. I mean, isn't that the ultimate privilege to be like, oh, this doesn't affect me. I'm just going to keep making my video games. I mean, I was driven to it by a few different psychological factors. One was being a new father. The other was being psychologically disturbed by the Black Lives Matter riots. And just the masking thing, just like, hey, like everyone needs to wear a mask in order to interact with everyone. Again, that is psychologically damaging. Hey, if not to you, then to me. Okay. Fucked me up. It fucked me up real good. And it's been almost 2 years.
The most damage, and I still haven't recovered from that for me, is the realization that 80% of the public are just going along to get along, will do whatever, even a higher percentage, maybe 85% maybe 90, that I'm the 5%, I'm the 1% of people that's going to stand up for not masking children or taking a shot or cutting their genitals off. Like, this is where we are in the left right now.
It's standing up for a pandemic, Jim. Yeah, there's a lot you just threw on the table there. There's a lot on the table.
I know
right
the
now.
rage, man, and I'm glad that
Well,
I'm
I
glad
think
that I'm
we,
healthy enough to
we
acknowledge
came
it.
to a
Identify it.
point in our last conversation where it was sort of the point was beat them by living well. I think we did touch upon that in our
Okay. Last broadcast?
our last broadcast in January.
Okay, good.
Was I think we reached that point, and ultimately, I've been doing what I can to do that. I've been programming as much as I can with my time, and I have only sort of like it's either one brain or the other. I'm either a tweeter, very focused on telling the story as best I can, and then sort of rereading and looking at the notifications and all that junk. It's very distracting. And then, or I'm 100% devoted to coding because
So what's the project that fires you up? If somebody calls you right now and goes, Sandor, you're the guy. I know you got the talent. This is what I'm doing. I want you to build me this, and here's how much I'm going to pay you. Like, what would you get really cranked about? Like, where first of all, and let that be a kind of like a resume about where your talents lie, because, you know, you just tweeted out the other day, and I'm like, oh, I forgot this kid's fucking talented, man.
Well, my problem is being a loose fucking cannon.
Well, that don't
My
matter.
talents are really self-evident, and so is my loose cannonery. So anyone who wants to bring me around is like, is this guy easy to work with? And the answer is no. I'm a fucking mess. I'm not easy to work with at all.
But if you're taking a
dear
contract,
God, I need help.
If you're doing a contract for
someone
somebody
out
that's paying
there,
well,
help
then
me,
what is-
please. I'm a disaster, and I could trace it back to you, all the way back to the very beginning and origins of my life. As we started in this conversation, being an only child of a single mother, being sexually abused as a child, being put in a gifted program, was poor, being the poor kid in a gifted program with a bunch of rich Chinese and Jews, being culturally out of place my entire life. 9/11 happening when I was 17. While I had a business with my colleagues, my very smart Jewish rich friends, we had a little business, a little office, teenagers with our own office. We were awesome. And then 9/11. You ever heard of Kerpal? You remember this story, Jim?
Not.
Kerpal?
I don't think so.
Kerpal, you kick my dog, you bastard guy. The famous prank call. That prank call was done by a Mississauga man in the mid-90s, and it circulated the internet. You might recognize it. Your daughter come on my property. She kicked my dog. No, this isn't ringing a bell for you.
No.
You fucking boomer. All right.
I'm
Well,
I'm
anyway,
a couple years off.
this shit
boomer.
was super viral, and it went super viral on our website when we were 16 in like the year 2000. And I made flash cartoons. They were super viral, and so we had an office. And our product was the Kerpal CD, where this white dude from Mississauga did Pakistani accent prank calls. And our Jewish investors like, I'm pulling out. And we lost the office. We lost momentum. We lost cohesion. And my smart Jewish friends all went to university.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there at McDonald's, working, sweeping, mopping, no frills, the movie theater. Again, only child of a single mother who couldn't pay all of her rent. So I didn't finish high school. And my smart Jewish friends were like, hey, you guys, I'm as smart as you guys. I should be as successful as you guys. I need to go to college too. And so I, looked around at the various colleges and ended up at Niagara College for journalism. And if there's any indication that I'm an idiot, it's that I took fucking journalism at school. But I was psychologically disturbed by the 9/11, by the war. I literally watched as the media marched the entire world into a war on lies. And I thought, we should have a better media. Maybe I should go to school for that. I already know how to make graphics. I already know how to code. Maybe I should get accredited in journalism. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a real goddamn idiot.
No, you know what?
I never worked
You're
in journalism.
You're the sum total of all your decisions. So, and you're right where you need to be right now. And you know what? I'll give you a little pep talk, but I tell this to a lot of people, and I try to hear it from myself. It's hard to coach yourself. You can't do it. You know what I mean? But if you had any idea what was ahead of you, you'd more than likely be lit up about it. No matter, like, I mean, some of us got some really big shit ahead of us. And here's the other thing, right? You know, you talk about great men and leadership and what you aspire to be and what you thought you'd be. I thought I'd be a father. I mean, trust me when I say I don't do the chicas. I've been celibate since I got here, 7 months. And that was a long time before that, too. So it's...
Jim Fannon incel? Oh, no, I embarrassed him. Oh,
no, I forgot where I was going. What was I talking about?
I don't know. You were saying that you had a vision for your life, and now you're coming to terms with where you're really at.
Okay, so like for you, like if you had any idea great men. Great men really didn't do anything till after 50. Like all the great men were way past 50 after they were done, usually abusing alcohol and drugs. And then back in the day, it was morphine and way different shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when they got the women out of their system, and two things, and then there was always the guiding force of their genius, their sole foundation and motivation was a woman. It was the love of a woman. All these great men that ever did anything really did it for just like it was.
That's right.
It was manifest for their love for one particular person on this earth, and I find it fascinating that, you know what, we're right where we need to be. As difficult as it is, and it's interesting that you're talking about injuries tonight, because I'm physically injured by sitting in this chair right now. I can't feel it right now, but I'm causing further damage to what I'm suffering. I'm really, like, my back, my sciatic, and my hips, and my tailbone, all of the stuff down there is all fucked right now. Well, not all of it. I mean, for pain, I'm going through some shit, and it's tough when you're in the wilderness, and you think no one's there. And as a Christian man, I know you have a deeper faith than that, to just realize that it's absolutely, and once in a while you get a glimpse. Somebody opens the window and a breeze of hope blows in, and suddenly you're struck by lightning. You feel like you're on stage, like the sun is shining on you, and you're the only one in the world, and it's perfect because you're right where you're supposed to be. Usually it's an encouragement. Maybe it's for me, I can't remember what it was. For me, it was commission coach. Weird. I mean, my commission coach thing's coming back. I thought that, at that point in time, I was going to make it and do something with it, right? And I still haven't, and here I am down here doing shows. But yeah, so I would speak to you with a little bit of hope to go, get excited about what's ahead of you, because great things are, and you've already built a legacy with your son. So if nothing else, as long as you got 15 years with that kid to make sure he's okay. When I think of kids, I'm like, give me 15.
Not fall apart as a person for at least
give me 15 years. That's all I need. And then
after
legacy lives.
You're on your own, kid.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited for you, man. I'm sorry to hear you're hurting, but you'll pull out of it. The book is tremendous. Wow! If nothing else, you can hang your hat. You're an author. You're a published author now. You're like a published cartoon.
If you publish your own thing, does it count as published?
Yeah, fucking right. I just changed your whole bio, man, because the bio on the last show we did was garbage. It was talking about all the past and everything. I changed your bio to make it sound like who you are now. And I changed it to, you're an author. Well, I didn't put author in there, but
I'm an illustrator. Yeah. I'm a game developer.
Well, it's right in the...
I got issues. And I would like to move past them. This is the thing. The part of the problem with social media is the reinforcing profile. So as soon as you publish something, you're just thinking out loud. Now you own it. And it kind of owns you in reverse. You can't just sort of like breezily discuss things. You post it, and then it's there speaking back to you. You reread your own shit over and over again.
Social media is an absolute disease, man. I'm not going to be the first guy to declare it, but it's a fucking disease, and it's killing us all.
I don't know how much longer you want to talk tonight? Maybe about 10 more minutes, or what's your?
Dude, I got all the time you want. I got
All
the
right,
air conditioning
so-
on. I had it on all day
Well,
because it's actually so
We were talking
hot.
about the.
If you don't run it all day, you sweat your ass off through the whole interview. That's not cool. Yeah, I got all the time you need, bro. Go wherever you want to go. I'm glad we had the chance to get caught up, and I'm glad you.
Still got my ass.
I'm glad you made yourself vulnerable and shared with us that stuff. It's important, and I'm feeling.
Well,
it.
it's the sunny beach weather that's so.
Dude, I tell you.
Ay, ay,
I
ay.
got a way
Actually,
to get you
I
out
was
of the
a-
country.
I was a,
we can have you here in 4 hours.
Whip it out kind of kid in terms of my emotional vulnerabilities. It was almost like you can't hurt me because I'll tell you what's wrong with me kind of guy. So all of the I can't believe you put that on the internet stuff. I was putting on as a teenager,
Oh.
like the masturbation conversations and all sorts of teenager talk and embarrassing things that it would be irresponsible for me as a grown-ass male to get into. Even though, if you were to get to know me as a person, you'd probably need to know about in terms of my background or who I am. It's very difficult these days to think out loud. Because as you might know, in order to think, you have to be able to speak. And there's so much policing on speech, and we're policing ourselves most of the time so that we don't get flagged somebody later. That's what's part of stressful about doing these conversations with you, Jim, is it's not just a one-off conversation. You're going to put this on 10 different platforms that will exist forever. So if I fly off the deep end, then that's on the record. And if I say something I regret saying, then that's on the record. So it's always a little bit like, there's just topics that sure I think about. I wanted to mention this with you. Thought criminals. So there's, you're a big fan of Gavin, right?
Oh yeah, Gavin. I'm gay for Gavin.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a whole show. I did a whole drunken show on this the other night. 2 hours
Right.
I broadcast deep into a night of rum. I don't know. It doesn't take much down here. It's 5 or 6 drinks and you're done. So, but
Right.
yeah, I love the guy. Why?
Well, because he's censored. Because
Oh yeah.
So
And he's
imagine
also one of the
YouTube-
most
imagine the
misunderstood
YouTube,
people on the
ecosystem, circa 2016, 2017, 2018. What were people watching on YouTube that is now censored? Everything that they were watching on YouTube, that I was watching on YouTube, is now censored. So that means, by definition, I'm a thought criminal.
Oh yeah.
By definition.
You were into AIU way before I was.
I was 4 years before you.
Yeah.
And that shit
Wow.
cannot be discussed in polite
That
society.
dude is brilliant. And he's on Gavin's channel now, so.
Right. Yeah, I know. And
I've had him on the show a couple
and-
times, actually. He was a great interview.
Yeah, that was a great conversation you
Yeah.
had with him. He was.
I don't listen to my shows back that often, but that's worth a re-listen. He was good. Mm-hmm. And just real.
Yeah, and so what I'm trying to get at is those channels being censored all those years ago was a big red flag to me. So it's not like my traumatic stress only began in May of 2020. I've told you quite a tale about myself tonight, going back quite personally all the way to who I am as 9/11 and journalism. And it took me at least 10 years to get over 9/11. I was the guy at the bar trying to talk to people about 9/11.
Oh shit.
I thought everyone was an absolute fool for going along with the Iraq War, for going along with Afghanistan. I was livid. And I had 35 journalism cohorts when I was in journalism. And at the time I wasn't totally red-pilled. I was like, this doesn't quite add up. But by 2006, 2007, 2008, I was like, truther. That's what they called us. And I thought that was one of the best pejoratives ever. Imagine the pejorative truther.
It's like super.
Ooh, you're into the truth.
Ultra MAGA. Oh, you're ultra. I want to make USA great again. Hello. Yeah, we're ultra MAGA. Yeah, baby. Fucking dummies. MAGA king. Yeah, he is the MAGA. It's the best net. Fucking idiot. They do, though.
Those commitments, they seem like it's ethical or egotistic. I don't know if it's ego or ethical. Because, like, there's an ego aspect, like, I'm the guy who's right, and you're the guys who are wrong, and I'm going to make sure to tell you. I mean, there's ego expression there.
I think that everything that you're mentioning, I'm going through in my head now and thinking, I felt all the same things that you did. I remember 9/11. I remember the most important person in my world right then was my fiance, and she was in the apartment, and I was at a breakfast meeting at the Parkway. And it's the first thing I wanted to know is that she was all right, because I knew she'd be watching it. Because the TV was always on in the living room, and I know she'd be getting ready for work or whatever. And
some high-end trauma.
That shit. And no one's ever called me a truther, but I know I'm not a fucking idiot. I know when a plane flies into a building, I mean, from the very beginning. Hello?
Yeah.
And then you got Building 7 or whatever. Nothing even touched that one. And the way those things came down, I'm like,
that's right.
Is anyone watching this? Like, what the fuck? They're imploding their own buildings right here.
And so a lot of the gaslighting that we're experiencing on a contemporary basis.
The mainstream media narrative doesn't hold up well there, eh?
I'm a veteran of being told, actually, you've come up with a conspiracy theory because it serves your psychological interests.
And how many people bought that story?
The world makes so much more sense in its well-ordered way with your little pyramid, your little fantasy pyramid, and you think that everything is a conspiracy. So I was gaslit like 15 years ago about the conspirators. But again, it was also socially isolating. I never got a job in journalism. And I never will.
Wow, that was quite an intro, man. What did you have planned to hit tonight? You want to hit some topics, or they seem irrelevant now?
We've been hitting them. We've been hitting them. We
already talking
topic.
Okay, good.
All right. You want to hear some avoidance? You want to hear some symptoms of PTSD?
All right.
Flashbacks. Reliving the traumatic event, including physical symptoms such as a racing heart or sweating.
Fuck, I get that every day.
Every fucking day, man. Recurring memories or dreams related to the event. Okay. Staying away from places, events, or objects that are reminders of the experience. No. Avoiding thoughts or feelings related to the traumatic event. So I'm just like reading this off here. These are some of the things that, being easily startled, feeling tense or on guard, having difficulty concentrating, which has affected me deeply as a video game programmer. Because when I concentrate, but when I can't concentrate, it's like,
now what
I have my Twitter IQ is 110 and my video game IQ is 130.
Your Twitter
game
is
if I can't get to my 130 zone, then I'm on my 110 zone and I'm hitting my Twitter stuff.
Well, even at 110, your Twitter game's on point. I read something you posted the other day and I go, this dude speaks in poetry. Like, I don't use those words. I'd like to, and it makes me feel inadequate from the language standpoint, because I don't have an excessively wide range of vocabulary. I don't use all those big words that JBP and you use, and they're beautiful, and they give so much texture to the conversation, right? And I'm just limited in that capacity, and it's not my style. It never has been. I guess it's got something to do with upbringing or schooling or whatever, but I was really impressed. You put something out there the other day. I'm like, fuck, this kid's bright. The fuck?
Did I
don't talk like
felt
that.
Cute, might
I say
later.
I'm speaking 4 and 5 letter words.
felt cute, might delete later. Felt revealing, might delete later. Felt like confessing something, might delete later. Having difficulty concentrating, having difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, feeling irritable, having angry or aggressive outbursts, engaging in risky, reckless, or destructive behavior. I've been like that over the last 2 years, and actually maybe over the last 15, but I've been like that much more than my better self remember we've talked about this we've talked maybe 12 times on shows like this, Jim.
No shit, eh?
More than about at least 12.
Really?
And one time we
Interesting.
spoke about how they're not bringing the best out of us. You know?
Fuck no.
That was one of your points that you raised. And I'm like, yeah, so I need to bring the best out of myself, be an illustrator, be all those things that they're distracting me from being. So
No, actually, now it's coming back.
I wanted
to
to mention about being the weaponization of peers. So imagine you go out, you try to make a friend, and that friend now has a risk factor of being an ideologically possessed freak weirdo. It's very nerve-wracking not knowing. This is part of the avoidance thing. Over all of the trauma I've experienced, and I'm not saying that my trauma is worse than having your limbs blown off. I'm not saying my trauma is worse than being in a war or other things, but it's mine. Okay, it is what it is, and it hurts in the way it hurts, and I have to deal with it because it's mine. Good golly, but I want to work through it. I'm doing my best to work through it. And you were mentioning this. The woman for a great man. Well, thank you for considering me a great man, but it's only possible because of a great woman, that's Shelby, who obviously without which I wouldn't be a disaster. I'd just be, I don't know what would be going on. I have no idea. I have no idea what would be going on. So I got to give a lot of credit to her in our relationship and holding it down. And we have a healthy relationship. We're both present for our son, and my job now is to fucking pay the bills.
Okay,
Which
so
is
what's
tough.
the job look like? What's the dream job? A guy calls you tomorrow. He says, "I'm going to pay you $100K. You 12 months. Build me this." What's he want you to do?
I have a skill set that includes illustration, C# coding, Unity, which is the game dev. What's been really eating my Gilbert grape has been, you like that reference? What's been really eating my Gilbert grape is that
What's your Gilbert?
I feel
grape?
really isolated.
It's
So,
humor over my head. Is this a character from like Shakespeare or something? What's your Gilbert grape?
You still there, Jim?
Yeah.
Am I still there?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Check.
It's okay. I'm giving the.
Okay, I'm back. I hear you again.
This
You
is
hear me? I hear
for
you.
everyone
Yeah.
out there. I might as well do this.
My dream job would have an office. My dream job would have colleagues.
What are you building?
You know,
What are you working on? What's your path? Like what?
It's
Here
creative.
you go. I need this. Do it. Go.
It's solving a solution. It's non-repetitive.
Mm-hmm. You can't think of a specific theme of business transaction
Well,
that
I am
something
currently
needs.
committed to my projects, which are my video games at Axiometric Games. So axiometric.games
Cool.
is my website.
Mm-hmm.
Axiometric Games on Twitter. I'm making puzzle games, and so that's the field. That's my direct focus.
Okay.
That's where I feel like I'm achieving my best, my highest potential.
Okay, good.
Is in, because it's mathematical, it's creative, it's visual, it's interactive, so it has all of the highest potentialities, and then I'm also open to doing illustrations, logo design, graphic design, brochure work, and other marketing hand jobs, just marketing hand jobs. So if there's any business owners out there, if you you like my pitch?
No,
Can you
it's great.
imagine?
No, I'm glad I asked the question because I don't really know. That's why I asked it, because I want to be clear on what you're like. Yeah, what are you passionate about? What are you good at?
No mouth stuff.
No what?
No mouth stuff. Just whatever pays the bills. All right. No mouth stuff though. No butt stuff. No mouth stuff.
Fuck, you're weird.
All right, we're at 1 hour here, Jimmy,
All right.
and I'm just drenched. What happened? It's so hot on the beach right here. Whew. I thought I wanted to have some fun with you, Jim, and I wanted to touch on things that I thought would be relevant to our overall mutual collective experience. One thing I've learned in the last 20 years is just speak your own truth and don't preach truth at others. Like, you should believe what I believe. Just be really yourself, and that'll be all right. The other thing was the sweet my left versus right paradigm. You don't have my Twitter account on your screen? Are you doing any screen sharing today?
No, I could put it up though. No problem.
Right. So you go up to my Twitter and then look down for the virtues and the vices. The vices and the virtues. You'll be like 5 scrolls.
Here's Grant Lafish. Why can't I ever say this? All right. So yeah, the Facebook's up. Here's your
No, Twitter.
Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Okay.
WTF
You
Niagara.
tweeted my show. Okay, let's refresh this page.
And scroll down until you see it's the tweet you retweeted for Saturday to the real left versus right paradigm.
Okay, here we go.
The 7 deadly sins and the 7 heavenly virtues.
Yeah, hit it.
And I thought that this would be, I think this is really where it's at in terms of how to reflect on oneself in terms of moving forward. So, like the left-right paradigm's bull, but look at this graphic. Is it on screen? So we got this graphic, and on the left we've got wrath, gluttony, greed, envy, sloth, lust, and pride. And on the right we have patience, temperance, charity, kindness, diligence, chastity, and humility. These are the real left versus right paradigm, in my view. And so this is Pride Month, and there's this what subverts pride but humility, so it's I wanted to just it sort of speaks for itself in a way. Each one of these things subverts the other. If there's wrath, then you need patience. If there's greed, then you need charity. And this is what I remember we named an episode, The Answer to Demoralization is Morals. This is more of a detailed version of that. I didn't make this graphic. Okay. It's a pretty cool graphic. And I think that it's a great guide, because none of us whatsoever are immune from being leftists of this chart. My sloth, my gluttony, my wrath are part of my behaviors, and I need to be aware of those things. And the last 2 years of my behavior, there may have been some of those things. Of course there would have been. And so I may have been better off being patient instead of wrathful, and so forth. So I wanted to it's kind of basic, but it's kind of obvious, and yet I don't think that being haranguing, like lambasting, verbally beating up our opponents is going to be the right approach, especially when it comes to pride. I think that humility instead is. So that's kind of tough, because what we're dealing with is all of these really visual cues. We're dealing with these like, you've seen this image. It's not going to lick itself.
Oh my God. I did, I'm trying to look away from that stuff lately. The stuff with the kids is the thing that really gets me. This trend. Oh no.
Are they trolling?
No, man.
Are they trolling?
They're fucking, they're actually sick.
Well, I mean, when I was...
This is what it comes to.
But a child, Jesus. My mother's roommate's son
describe the
brought
thing,
me into the bathtub with him. And so, like, as a kid, I had a very strange experience growing up. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't until puberty that I figured myself out in that regard. So I have like a personal background with children and sexual abuse, because I was a sexually abused child. Mm-hmm. It is a touchy subject for me. It's not something I usually go after. I don't go after culture war stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't usually go out. I've never really gone after
Well,
homosexuality.
dude,
as
I've
like
said on many shows that
criticism.
your child was the reason I went down this road. The reason I got so passionate about the masking of children was after meeting your kid and you telling me, 7 months from now, he'll be 2 and he will have not seen a smile of a stranger's face yet.
Well, he's seen plenty of smiles. My rhetoric was a little extreme,
Yeah,
but
I know.
the
But
point
it was
remains.
appropriate.
The point,
Yeah. It was
the
an
point
appro-
remains is we would have had a much more social life over the last 2 years if it was more of a normal society. But it's been rather isolated. But I think that ultimately there are no excuses from taking responsibility in the future. So I could list off like 1,000 reasons why my life sucks and why I hurt and why, woe is me. But moving forward, it's my responsibility to take responsibility. So, I mean, I could say that my youth was wasted on the young. My youth was wasted. With everything I know now, I would have done totally different. But now is now. So I've got a beautiful son, a beautiful wife, and skills to pay the bills.
Skills to pay the bills. Nice work.
I got a
brother.
new webcam. I got a palm tree.
You got some decent broadband? No skipping
got-
tonight?
No skipping. That's pretty good.
No.
So, it's a bit of a. I think we covered everything that I wanted to touch upon.
Vicious.
I could dig into more things, but we did it. What are you doing moving forward, Jim? You doing more of these? You talking later to other people, or are you keeping it going?
I got Eric Matheny on Thursday night.
All right. I don't.
Eric Matheny's.
Look at the sweat. This is just filthy. You guys like this out there in internet land? What the fuck?
I'm usually soaking wet too. I had to literally run the air conditioning. I don't use it. You know what I mean? But if I don't use it for my broadcasts, I spent the whole interview wiping down because it just soaks everything. Like I'm still soaked. Still got to dry.
I need a
mouth.
squeegee over here.
Oh, dude, it's hot.
All right. Well, before we
Anyway.
sign up, do we have any comments and questions from the viewership?
We had a couple people get in. Layden was there. Said, I love you, brothers. Shut up, Layden. And then we got...
Is that like a thing you guys have?
Yeah, that's my thing. Layden...
Shut up,
we
butthead.
read,
Is that like a
Nancy
Beavis
Graham.
and Butthead thing?
Yeah, exactly. Nancy, for me, I'm totally the Beavis and Butthead guy. Nancy Graham said, glad you're back. You're a rock star. Of course, she's talking about you. Nancy Graham was on YouTube.
Ask me anything, folks.
Oh, Floor Score always gets in.
Who's that?
True bromance. Floor
You
Score.
and me?
Floor Score. Yeah, Floor Score is always on Twitch.
Yeah.
So what up, Floor Score? True bromance. So yeah, well,
Thanks for
dude,
tuning in
thanks for
to
getting
this.
vulnerable. I didn't never know where the shows are gonna go, and like I said,
The Jim Fannon Confessional.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm
Therapy
just
with
doing.
Sandor and Jim.
I have to figure my shit out because my pops had a heart attack, and then they went in to try and do some fix-em-ups, and then
We never talked about
they did some damage, and now he's got to go
you
back.
coming back? Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I have no plans to come. Like at some point, I'm coming back for a short period of time, but it won't be long.
So I'm sorry to hear that. Is he all right?
No, he's fucked up. He's in the fucking hospital still. Fuck's sake.
He's still in the hospital. This
Yeah,
is
he's
why I
not.
was
He's
like, whoa, you're
not
gonna
at
be-
home. He's not on fucking Facebook. He's, I call him all the time, but that I don't want to be calling the fucking old man in the hospital. What the fuck? Not fair. But
not fair.
whatever. Anyway, so
Well, best of health to him.
prayers.
Best of recovery.
Shoot him. I got a couple things I got to sell some properties. That's all I got to do is concentrate less on this kind of stuff. I'm glad, and I never know why I do this stuff, but it keeps pulling me back. So here we are. And it's funny how we got this laid out.
You're giving a service, an essential service to the
Well, yeah, today I felt
to
like
the audience.
today-
People are wondering, where the hell is Sandor? What the fuck happened to that guy?
If you
Someone
listen
give
to
me,
my
like, a bit
last
of a-
broadcast, the one I did 2 hours of drunkenness, and compare it to this, I think, you know, this is much more meaningful. So
I
thanks
will
for sharing.
always avoid
Thanks
2
for-
hours of drunkenness.
Thanks for...
That is not- You know, we didn't actually touch upon the fact that my court case is over.
No, fuck, we didn't even talk about that, of all
We
the
didn't
things.
talk about
Yeah.
that shit at all. Your court case and my court case and court cases and fucking that shit.
Who signed your ticket?
The tickets are Michelle Brown, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the long and the short of it is I owed over $2,000 for having taken a leisurely walk with so they you know, I was charged with common nuisance May 1st and May 8th, and they threw that out. All I had to do was plead guilty to defying the court order, and then they charged me $750 for going to the April 10th protest and $1,250 for going to the April 17th protest. And
Strange.
that's what I owe. And I would like to thank those who have been supportive on that. I have received $350 in donations
Wow.
from members of the public, very generous members of the public.
Impressive.
Yeah,
I love
that
hearing
is really quite something.
Yeah.
It really is more than I bit off more than I could chew with that. We'll get into it maybe some other time, or we'll just let the people's imaginations, you know, just imagine what we said regarding that topic. And you got any questions about that?
That's a hard one,
Fuck.
man. That's a hard one. I don't even want to ask. You did what you did. You can't do it. You can't undo it. So,
You don't have questions?
oh, I got questions. More judgments
Hit
than
me.
anything.
Hit me, motherfucker.
More judgments
Wow.
than anything.
Hit me.
No. I got my thoughts on that, but that's cool. We don't need to go there. You did what
Yeah.
you did, and it, you know, it's your call, bro. So, and yeah, mine are. You know, at some level, I could fuck up a one-car funeral. No, I haven't told this story because it's nobody's real business, right? Maybe I shouldn't tell the story. Fuck, I'll tell
One
this.
car funeral.
Yeah. They're tough to fuck up, but yeah, I could fuck one up.
You could do it.
Sometimes I could fuck up a one-car funeral. Yeah. I missed both dates. Like I went for 3 times to get. They're never ready. Like I'm ready to go now. You want to have a trial? Let's go. Yeah. They want to put it off, you know. And the lawyer that I got handling it turned into be a dick. He told me basically just they'll dump the first one and then you pay $750 on that one, and they'll dump the second one for $500, but you plead guilty. I'm going, is there something like, was I not clear when we met that I will never, ever plead guilty? It's trial or nothing. And he would only take me up to the point of trial. So he had a relationship with the Crown or the judge or the justice or whatever. And he says, oh, you know, I'm pretty familiar with this prosecutor, and, you know, I feel we can. And I'm like, yeah, see, your job is just to make it go away. Like, I had to drive to Hamilton to meet with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he fired himself because I wouldn't take his deal. So he unceremoniously. So, anyways, I went to two meetings on Zoom myself, and then the next 2 I miraculously missed. One, I was in a men's group, totally blanked. Thursday morning, my early morning men's group, it was like 8:45, and it's over at 8:30. We stay on, a bunch of us stay on till. You should come out Thursday mornings at 7:30. It'd be good for you to wake up one day early. And the other one, I think one of my buddies is in from Canada, and I fucking blanked. I don't have a good warning system for appointments right now because, well, I don't go on many. I have one tomorrow. I got a lunch appointment at Casa Linda. What a fucking complex. These guys are unbelievable. But yeah, so I had to, and I didn't tell anyone this because they're all sending me the dirt on Michelle Brown, right? All my insiders are going, hey, Jimmy, don't tell anyone, but guess what I heard? And so I didn't tell even those people that so I won't tell you the worst of it publicly right now because I won't even go there on part of it. But there's two, it's weird how they do this fucking thing. I got 2 tickets, but I have like one's a different level. So I have to go to a different court, and they can't put the 2 together, of course, even though, my dates are the same as yours, strangely enough. And you know what I told Alicia? I told her, like, how many people do you know that you can tell them exactly the day that they met you? Because I met you April 10th. That's when I met you for the first time. I don't know anyone else in my life I can go like, oh, I know when I met you, but maybe some people. But anyways, I think that's funny. So I had to ask for they convicted me in my absence without like further communication. And I got a reopening on both of them.
Well, good luck to you.
So they're going to send me a trial date within 8 weeks or something like that. And
what a fucking waste of all of our money.
They say don't record these things.
I did. I got a recording of my own. Should I say that? I got a recording of my trial.
Well,
my
I'm not
judge being
saying
like,
I recorded all of it, but I do record things.
There's a pandemic.
If you ever speak to me like this,
next time there's a stay-at-home order.
There's a good chance I'm recording it or it's being broadcast live. Well, anyway. So yeah, that's that thing will go nowhere. So I'm glad about that. And I'm pumped about Alicia getting Grant Lafish. And fuck. I don't know.
So, I mean,
I'm trying.
If it wasn't for the way that Alicia was treated
tranquilo
in the media, then there would never have been such a large crowd that day. Those crowds were a direct response to the fact that Alicia was abused in the media. It was like a clear chain of events between February 13th to April 10th to May 8th. February 13th is when Grant Lafish published that story, the famous story where he implied that Alicia was involved in making threats against Dr. Hergy, which resulted in Alicia receiving threats. And then
after the Prime Minister 10th, and the Premier retweeted it.
That's right. That's right. That's
idiots.
A huge...
Fuck. I'm telling you, social media is a fucking disease.
Actually, I feel like we took that and we with my art, with this lawsuit, and with dozens and dozens of other people who have dozens of other opinions and observations. Grant Lafish does not work for the St. Catharines Standard anymore. He works for the Hamilton Spectator now. And this motherfucker is not taking screenshots of every little thing he sees on the internet. Like, oh, look what the latest anti-vax group is saying. He's not doing that. Somehow, their behavior has been modified. And I don't know if that's because there isn't a protest group to crush. And so he doesn't need to act in that way. Or if he's been like
WTF group.
BTFO. BTFO Grant Lafish.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And Carrie Porter. Carrie Wear a Mask Porter is now my favorite Carrie Porter. Carrie Ride the Bus Porter.
Oh,
that's my favorite Carrie Porter.
I
love Carrie Ride the Bus Porter.
Did she change her handle? Or is it still Wear a Mask?
Oh, she dropped Wear a Mask sometime last year, and then sometime this year brought in Ride the Bus.
Oh, she did change her handle. Okay, well, that shows you how much I look at Carrie Porter.
These people want to know what kind of bullshit we talk about them, and so they won't admit it, but they tune in.
Well,
and they tuned into the Niagara Protagonist, and they're like, and probably these interviews, and they're like, motherfucker makes kind of a good point.
Who sent me the KFC bucket with a certain politician's head on it and a certain it didn't say KFC underneath it. I mean, here I go.
That was meme magic.
That was fucking brilliant.
Am I?
But have you seen my Meg?
Totally a Gemini. I
seen,
feel like I'm a bit of a Gemini because I'm like a very respectful, intelligent person, and then I'm a total troll clown also.
I don't know what Geminis are.
What's that?
I don't know what Geminis are. I don't pay any attention to anything with the Virgo.
What Geminis are.
That's all
Aren't
I know
you
about.
in your 40s or 50s and you...
Yeah, but I only care about the Virgo.
I only care about the Virgo. What? Is that because that's what you are?
Well, yeah.
Right.
Fuck, are you new? Fuck, where you been?
Yeah, well, the Gemini is the twins. The twin Gemini.
I'm the Earth Monkey. And in Chinese astrology, it's fucking bang on. It's weird because the girl that I was with at the time that brought Chinese astrology into my life, I didn't acknowledge any of the good stuff. I thought, I identified with all the bad stuff, but I didn't identify with the good stuff. And she's like, no, dude, are you kidding? You're totally the monkey. And then I'm the one in numerology, of course. Hello?
You are the one.
Yeah.
Well, you're the 1% of people who wouldn't wear masks to the grocery store.
And my brother's the 9, and he's a typical 9. We know a bunch of
so
9s.
So you do have a little bit of your
just enough to be dangerous.
Numerology.
Billy always lays it on me. He'll
All right, well, I was just trying to say that I
how's
recognize the duplicity or the duality within my psychology. On one half, I'm a very well put together, intelligent person. And on the other half, I'm a freaking clown. All right?
Gotcha.
Recognized,
Is
understood.
that a Gemini?
And then you have you unify the twins.
Which is it again?
Gemini.
Oh, yeah, Gemini twins. Right, of course.
Gemini twins.
All right. So you're a Gemini.
I am a Gemini.
Oh, because it wouldn't make, like, the conversation, it goes a lot better because you are a Gemini. Good.
I'm not sure why I got into that.
That's good, man. What's your Chinese sign? It doesn't matter. I don't know what they are anyways. I only know what the monkey is. Are you the boar?
Not the pig.
Okay.
The boar.
Right on. Do you know
of
what
course,
you
that's
are
white
numerology?
folks. We call it a
Numerology.
pig. But I believe it's known as a boar.
How about numerology? What's your number?
I don't know. How do you work that out? How do you...
Just add all your numbers together until they become one number. Just keep
add your name together?
No, just your date of birth. So you add the 1 to the 9, it becomes a 1 because it's a 10 and 1 and 0 is 1, right? So 19. We'll do this. I'll try and do it. I'm pretty high.
Am I doing it in my head right now? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
1 and 9 is 1 plus 70. What year were you born?
83, baby.
83. So 1 and 8 is 9.
The last good year of the last Star Wars movie.
9 and 3 is 12, which is a 3 again. Right? And now we're going into your month. So you got 3.
I'm not giving away my total birthday on the internet.
Yes, you are.
I'm very coy about that.
So we got 3 going into your month. What's your month?
May.
So that's an 8.
And then the last digit, which I will compress for you, is a 6.
8 and 6 is 14. You're a 5.
There you go.
5s, I have interesting 5 days. 5s and 1 days are either they're always active in my world. 5's a money day for me.
What's that?
Money? 5, yes. 5 is usually a deal day or something. I'm making money on 5 days.
All right.
Not lately.
Okay.
To buy a condo on the North Shore of Dominican Republic where there's no sharks and we don't get hurricanes or earthquakes or none of that shit. There's nothing on this island that's going to kill you. There's no income tax. There's no property tax, and fucking everything's cheap. What the fuck? $5 a gallon for gas when I got down here 8 months ago. It's gone up 20. Oh, hang on. It's gone up 20 cents in 8 months.
Wow.
20 cents a gallon.
These 8 months of all months too.
Hang on. No.
Well,
no,
I think you made the right decision.
No, it's gone up 20. It's gone up 40 cents. I'm wrong.
Although
it's
I do
20
miss your
pesos
pool, or your pool. That was nice.
20 pesos a gallon.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It's gone up nothing.
I'm glad you're surviving, and thriving. Perhaps. It's a lot for us to process as people, and as individuals, but both, in a political context, a social context, and a socioeconomic context, there's a lot to process to move forward with our lives. The world with which we were trained to exist in no longer exists, and we have to adapt one way or the other, and so we shall. And I'm glad to see you adapting in an environment that you can thrive in.
Oh.
Right? How's your Spanish? Sweet talk me in Spanish, Jim.
Limited. Lo siento, te amo. I'm sorry, I love you.
You sound
That's all
bored. You got to be like.
that gets me in everywhere.
You got to be like.
I'm sorry, I love you.
You got to pull it up from your guts. You got to be like, these are my testicles
Dude,
coming out to my
it's
accent.
weird because like I'm a 6'4" gringo. There aren't
Right.
a lot of 6'4" gringos around here. Even the tourists aren't 6'4" gringos. Like, I mean, yeah, you can see me coming a long way away.
And then you speak to them in that bored Spanish accent.
Especially when you get into some of the little neighborhoods, right? Boroughs or whatever you call them, the burbs, the projects.
That's
I don't know.
good.
They don't
Well,
have projects
that's good
here.
because we touched the electrical fence and it fried us, blew our hair off, and our skin was just charred as a result of metaphorically touching the electrical fence. And each of us have had to recover from it in our own way. And my plan for the Niagara Protagonist was leading to my final episode of the plan was to discuss the feminist mafia, and I wanted to white knight your story. I think the way you were treated in 2020 is absolutely atrocious, total bullshit. The dumb fucking cunt comment was way taken out of context. The media totally abused your name, and I think it's just atrocious. But some things you just got to let go. So I didn't get there. In my episode, but I did want to at least say to you that fucking is bullshit. That's bullshit.
Well, I am a product of my every decision leading to this point. And I'm fucking hilarious. Hello.
That's true.
Have you
That's
ever
true. I guess
seen
you
my
don't
fucking
need to,
show?
victim it out or anything. But the reason I want to articulate
Especially,
that
hey, if I got a few drinks rolling, like I did 2 hours live the other night, and I'm probably not proud of it.
You know about Darvo, Jim?
No, what's that?
DARVO.
No, what's that?
Deny, attack, reverse, victim and abuser.
Cop to everything. Be responsible. The fuck?
No, Darvo is what they did to you.
Yeah.
Deny, attack, and then reverse the victim and the attacker. So you didn't do anything wrong. You were on your own podcast, doing your own thing, making your own comments, political comments. They completely, libelously, scandalously abused you. And then they walk around as if they're like, oh, we're such good people. It's like it's the hypocrisy that makes me really feel like grinding this point.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
Observing all of that hypocrisy sucked.
I wonder how that could have changed my broadcasting going forward. I don't think it has really. Like I haven't shied away from the topic, and I'm still Jimmy. I just say whatever the fuck I want. So, and like most of it's a joke anyways, like because I'm clown pilled. I'm not fucking taking this shit seriously. Like the kids thing, I'm taking seriously. But when you ask me, I kind of glanced at it here and there, but I can't consume that level. Like I get it a little bit on my Twitter feed and stuff like that, and I will watch it. But lately, like some with the masturbation homework, that one, I could not retweet that. I could not put it on my Facebook. It killed me to read it. And then I couldn't propagate it. And that's the first time I felt like this is actually sick enough to not retweet. Like respect is, it's earned here. Like, and I will respect the kids in my own little way by not propagating
Sort of like
this piece of trash
tactfulness.
media.
You got to pick your battles
story.
too.
Oh my God! Just stay away from the kids, man. That's my only thing. So.
Well, I'm no longer black pilled. I'm iridescent pilled.
Okay, good.
I'm sparkly pilled.
Get a bottle of clown pills and keep
Iridescent.
taking them
What does that
until
mean?
it's
Like, somewhat see-through, shiny.
Yeah. Okay. Black pill's painful, man. That's bullshit. That's suicidal.
There's enough rational reason to be black-pilled, but you can't be black-pilled if you have a relationship because it's toxic to the relationship.
Well, maybe not true.
So imagine walking around being like, everything's pointless.
We're all going to die.
We're all going to die. And it's like, how are you going to be a
provider,
part of a relationship? I can't. I literally can't. I have to be like, it's going to be okay. We're going to find a solution. You know, like, otherwise I'm being like a real bummer. So I'm not a bummer.
Yeah, fuck the black
belt. And I'd say I'd give myself credit for that. I could have made decisions in my life that were much worse than the decisions I made. So I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Jim, for having the chance to hash it out with you, to chit chat.
My eyes are getting bad.
You know, one of the reasons I pulled out from social media. So when December came in 2021, I had WTF Niagara still popping, and then there was like this vandalism of Carrie Porters. Remember this? The December 21st vandalism of Carrie Porters.
I like it when you put it in a timeline, man, because it all makes sense when you go, no, this happened on February 13th, and it wasn't until late April 10th when we amassed it.
Yeah.
Did you even go to that?
I was there reluctantly, just
right.
to see it, just to observe. So I was a non-participatory observer,
Why am I asking
and I
that
got
question?
fined.
Yeah, I don't remember you being like anyway.
No, Alicia invited me to speak. I think she did a post saying speakers include Jim Fannon, Sandor Ligetfalvy, Dave Bilsma, and that other Thorold counselor, right? Junkin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No,
so it was that post which the bylaw then used.
I thought there was
going to
I was prepared for like 13 to 30 people.
Me too. Yeah,
Was I wrong?
That's what I expected too. So
my back was hamburger that day too. Just like it is now.
Yeah, but no, I was talking about December 21st, 2021, which was the day that protesters protested outside of Dr. Hergey's house. And then later that night, vandal attacks Carrie Porter's property.
Oh.
Remember this?
I didn't. I'm not putting it in the timeline of that. I'm glad you did, though. Weird.
Yeah. So
not that it's necessarily related.
That's added a liability to those of us who are trying to be activists or be communicators. So if I go on criticizing Carrie Porter, I'm literally like contributing to the environment So even though I'm being completely legitimate in my criticisms, the fact that someone out there doesn't have the same communication resources and is going to lose their shit doesn't make me feel good about communicating to the public. Like, hey, everyone, let's hold this person accountable. Not like that. You know? What are you doing? Scary Carrie is a Marxist. Remember this? This is the side of her building. And what really bothered me was my audience accusing her of doing it to herself. Now, it's logical. Every conspiracy theorist in the world would be like, hey, there's a really good chance that happened. But if there's any chance that that's not what happened, I felt awful to participate in that level of gaslighting. Can you imagine being the admin of a group and the purpose of the group is to be like, every time Carrie Porter is victimized by some asshole, to be like, she did it to herself. Do you know what kind of asshole that would be? I couldn't be the admin of that group. So all those people saying Carrie Porter did it to herself blew up WTF. Because I wasn't going to be the admin of that group anymore. I wasn't going to argue with them. And I had something to do with that. Because Chris Biddle.
You could have left.
Chris Biddle.
You could have left me as the admin and just got out.
You wanted to be?
I was the admin. I got the page back for you. Remember, you were.
No, I nuked it. I was.
Oh, I know.
I was very disturbed.
I lost my admin privileges.
I was extremely upset by seeing that vandalism.
Who cares?
In a personal way.
Fuck it.
Well,
who cares? It's
somebody
a group. People are stupid.
Blamed me for it. They took a screenshot of my post and they tagged me, and so I woke up finding out about the vandalism by being accused of it. Oh. So that's probably what set me off.
Nobody writes anything in my comment section, so I'm not going to worry about shit.
They blamed us. And that's a separate issue. That's just like, oh, I don't want to be blamed for that. No, it's I didn't want to provide countenance to, because it's really sick.
No,
If that,
you got a point.
If somebody that she doesn't know vandalized her, and then we go around saying she did it to herself, that is fucking sick. That is awful. And then no wonder she'd treat us like crap after. No wonder she'd call us racists, fascists. No wonder she would do whatever she could to undermine every effort we ever had.
Why?
Because as soon as you know someone's lying about you, you're not going to treat them with any. I mean, I know we're talking about Carrie Porter, who doesn't treat people fairly to begin with, but I want the high road. I want the high ground. I want to be beyond reproach. So the fact that our group in 2021 was very allowed for a wide range of commentaries and speculations, I felt was too much liability for me to be participating in moving forward. Although I would say that Chris Biddle probably did it to himself. Fuck Chris Biddle. I have no problem accusing him of doing that to himself.
Good for
But
you.
Walter Senzik, I don't know, I don't know. That's what it's, and so those two, remember in September, there were those two vandalisms that took place directly after our protest. So on September 11th, we do a protest called No Great Reset. And at that protest, I say the answer to demoralization is morals. We cannot lash out in anger. We must reach across class lines by being respectful and not attacking each other. And then that night, Biddle was vandalized. And then 2 nights later, Senzik was vandalized. And then in the media, they attached it to our protest and our overall mood in general as being anti-vax, angry anti-vax haters. And I was fine with that, sort of being like, hey, did these guys do this to themselves right before an election? But the December 21st vandalism of Porter just blew my mind, because at first I'm like, she did it in the South. Start tweeting that, and I was just totally embarrassed, and I hated it.
What did you
And
start
so I blew it all
tweeting?
up. That's the story.
What did you start tweeting?
I don't know if the people out there knew that story or have
What
any
did you
thoughts
you just
on it.
back up 2 sentences. You said, what did you start tweeting? And then you...
At first,
Yeah.
when it first happened, my first instinct is she did it to herself, of course, for the virtue, for the
Oh,
victim
so
one.
you're feeling guilty because you actually thought that.
Of course, I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist. What am I going to think?
So then when other people
What,
say
am I
it
going
on
to think
your
the
group,
leftist Marxist is an honest truth teller? Is that what I'm going to think? The thing is, I could be wrong. So I was like, holy fuck. Like, this is a real person.
Right.
And it was Laura Yip's letter.
Who cares,
Yip wrote-
man? It's a joke. It's funny. It's a troll. It's fucking the internet, man. Who cares? She probably did it to herself. Fuck her. Who cares? I don't know. In the greater scheme of things, it's just a fucking game, man. It's all a game.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the long and the short of the tale of the end of WTF. That was it. I wasn't going to allow that to take place. I thought that there was even a 1% chance that our group was actually feeding into the environment that led to vandalism. I'm not going to be responsible for that. And that's what I started telling to all the other protesters. I said, don't protest at their houses. Stop engaging in confrontations. Stand down and let the house of cards collapse. Because the more we interfere in the perceptions of the public, the more we're used as the bad guys. It's easy to use us as the bad guys. We're fucking lunatics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that hard to be like, oh, we're the establishment. We're so well put together. And look at these fucking lunatics. Well, okay, so why would we play that role over and over again? So I was like, I'm done playing that role. And as we discussed at the beginning of the year, I wasn't going to play 2022 the same as 2021. We really haven't. So it's laying low has been also about moving beyond the cycles and loops that 2021 was. It was all necessary, but it was also, it's almost like a compliment to Grant Lafish, Carrie Porter, and Laura Yip to ever fucking talk about them. It's like, you actually aren't worth my attention, you pricks. Why did I spend a year talking about you to the public?
They're comedy fodder. That's what they are. That's what we fucking get drunk and laugh at live on shows like this.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? They're losers.
Right,
Anyways,
which is why they're beneath me, and we should never talk about them ever again.
Grant Lafish has done some fucking pretty unsavory things, but Laura Yip's not a loser. She was a good friend of mine for a long time, but the way they act and their ideological stuff, and then their viciousness too, for her to say, "Oh, I'm going to take the high road," and then talk to Bill Sawchuk, and then they use one quote from me, going, "Oh yeah, I got a lot of hate." Yeah, that was a good one.
Well,
anyway.
one thing that concerns me is the fact that we've never really been heard, and there's never been accountability. Means we keep bringing shit up that hasn't been resolved.
Yeah, all I was saying is don't tweet Jesus fucking Christ. It's disrespectful, and you're an elected politician.
Right.
Stop it.
But
fucking have some respect
what if
for
everyone,
yourself.
ourselves included, and themselves included, have consciously or unconsciously taken the lesson? What if Carrie Porter doesn't want to be Carrie Wear a Mask Porter and would rather be Carrie Ride the Bus Porter? Have you seen Laura Yip's new profile or her new campaign?
I'm so glad you asked about that because it's
a really nice campaign.
Okay, great.
It's totally professional. All her ideas are well organized.
Good. So
how could I shit talk that campaign? Because it's totally professional. It's not like there's no calling Jordan Peterson a moron on her Twitter.
Right.
It's all super clean. And if they stay clean, then I got no complaints.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Then we all win. I don't want to live in 2020 and 2021 for the rest of the decade. And if they don't want to do that either, I'm willing to let it go. I'm willing to move on. So, ride the bus.
Anyways, I think it's funny that I happen because I have a few accounts, right? I have to have a few accounts, and I'm down to. I'm not even going to say about that, but she came across my feed somewhere, her new Twitter profile. So, she must know I have Jim Fannon Lives and Jim Fannon Live, and right now we're live on Jim Fannon Live. For some reason, my backup channel that I'm using right now, which is the old Team Niagara, was my realtor channel. I converted it to Jim Fannon Lives, but I can't go live on that channel for some reason. Twitter's blocking it from going live. So I have my backup that used to be Rock Our Town. It's now Jim Fannon Live. Right. So we're live there. So that works.
Yeah.
So
hello, Internet. Yes.
So she gets a new account, and I go, "Oh, what the fuck? How come I'm seeing Laura Yip?" Because I should be blocked.
Aren't you an auto block?
Come on. It's a new block. It's a new account. So because I was on the other thing, it came up in my feed, or I was reading something on you, whatever. I don't know where it came up. I'm like, oh, I went to check. The Twitter account is like a couple weeks old, right? Yep. So tell me, who creates a Twitter account and then goes straight to Jim Fannon's account to block it? I don't know how many people she blocked immediately, but if there was 3, I was the first one. If there was 100, I'm sure I was probably the first. I got a good laugh out of that. How can you not do anything but just make fun of these people? That's when I say loser, I don't mean you're a loser, but that's loser-ish. I don't know. It's just childish. But social media is
there's no reason for her to believe that the community would treat her, from her point of view, any better than she's been treated thus far. And let's be honest, the existence of WTF, the existence of our screenshot methods, we spent a long time laughing at the clowns, but then our audience moved with that. They're like, oh, well, we can laugh at them too.
Well, I think you should bring it back, make me the admin, take all your personal stuff off there and let it fucking go. Let it go. Let it live.
Why would we want...
Oh,
why would we want that?
Because
why would we want
that's what the internet's for, dude. It's a game.
Yeah, I'd rather make games, I guess.
Okay, we'll make games.
No, I think...
let your other child breathe.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said, let your other child breathe. Man, you killed off one of your own. WTF was the shit, man.
Yeah, in a way. It was like a well-known fortress that all of the enemies knew how to target and attack. So like we made a protest, and then the next day there's vandalism, and then also my psychology wasn't really enjoying this.
Well, I
wasn't fucking enjoying this. And I'm not making my video games at the time. You know, like actually all the way through October, November, and December, I was making video games, and I launched Boxio, which is my first Android game. And it's up there and it's out, and I did a good job. And I was not in the mood to continue to do this sort of Niagara shit disturber thing. Just not. And I'm glad it's over.
Well, I'm glad you moved on too, brother. It's all
and it creates room for other people who have different reputational backgrounds to establish their voice. So cycles and loops can sometimes perpetuate the good as well as the bad. So we may have been involved in perpetuating the bad. We may have been involved in perpetuating a negative stereotype of ourselves through various behaviors and actions. You know,
who cares?
What do you mean?
Fuck it. Say it anyways. Say it anyways.
In a holistic sociological analysis, one must understand one's own role in the sociological culture being created. So I wasn't going to have it where I would end up having literally led people to violence.
Dude,
so
that's a story you made up. You're not leading anybody to anything. Anyways, we beat this thing to death. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I'm not buying it.
I agree.
Not buying it.
I agree.
But moving forward, what are you hitting up? What you gonna do? Any stand up? You gonna make a fucking music video? Like, dude, like, aren't you feeling like you need to dig back into something that old school? I don't know.
Not really.
No?
Not really any
Good.
music. I'm kind of hang up the microphone. I'm not really that interested in music.
I want to get a stand up routine together. I want to be able to get up and do bad stand up condomy. Condomy.
Anti-woke comedy. What's the deal with transgenders? Like a satire.
I saw Norm Macdonald's new special on Netflix.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
The fuck? How do you do that?
Oh, it's called Nothing Special, so that's what you do.
You recorded it before?
Yeah. He actually did it because he was going in for a procedure the next day, and he says, if this all goes south, I want put some thoughts down. So he basically, there was a 2-camera shoot on his computer. And I mean, I love Norm Macdonald, and
right.
He's fucking hilarious, but I only got about halfway through it, I think, but it had some funny parts, but it's not. He's a stand-up comedian. Well, he does interviews. I mean, he's great on interviews.
He's kind of a cringe artist.
Oh,
it was kind of
he's just
cringe comedy.
Brilliant and so methodical.
I'm a bit of a cringe artist myself, I guess. Yeah.
And but so yeah, it's and to do something like that live, like that's got to be the scariest thing on the fucking planet. Like, I conquered my fear of the microphone back in the day, but that's got to be the scariest thing, is going up and delivering a stand-up routine.
Yeah, that's one aspect I've never done. I did the rap thing, and that's pretty embarrassing. But without which, like, if I was to look back at my life and be like, hey, should I be a rapper? Well, if I wasn't, then I never would have gone to open mic, I never would have met Shelby, and I never would have had the relationship I had. So even though I'm a terrible rapper and my music sucks, having not done that, my life would not have materialized into what it is. So how's that?
Well, I was at Scotty's, Scott. We're installing a kitchen. And I said, well, I'm a kitchen installer. If you're doing it, you done it. You are it. So I did rap, forever a rapper. I think you should bust out a new tune. That shit is tight, man. I don't know that one. Oh no, that one video is good.
Let's take everything we talked about at the beginning of this episode with post-traumatic stress, and then reference my song "Sick of a Sick World," and it is in fact lyrically and thematically reflecting the same idea. I am sick of a sick world. So there you go. You want to bring it up?
Yeah. Oh,
have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen Max Axiom's Sick World?
I don't know if I've seen that one. I was going to bring up you.
I want to watch that whole thing.
The old one, not the old one, but the one that.
The one with Shelby's good too.
Yeah, that's the one. Your buddy shot. Who did that one? Your buddy made that video. Who was it? Helped you with it?
Friend, yeah, friend, I suppose.
Who was it?
I'm not sure.
The fuck?
I don't know which video you're referring to, so I'm a little bit.
I think it's the one with Shelby in it.
Well, we shot that ourselves.
Oh, I thought.
Which selfie mode, which like.
Okay, what do I search on the YouTube?
Sick World, Max Axiom. That's a good way to go out. Maybe we could watch it.
Oh, good, Max.
Sick World, Max Axiom. Actually, the song's called "Please Cure Me."
Yeah.
Please cure me.
All right. Let's see. Okay.
In room 101, O'Brien says to Winston, he brings him to the mirror and he says, "If you're a man, you're the last man."
I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me.
Don't give up. Everyone is cured. Everyone is cured.
Fetal skin, let the evil in till the deal is done. Evil son never made it home. I'm on the run. Ego trips when you read my lips till I come to grips. Evil grips people like a whip. But some of this is zeitgeist. My eyesight is third wave blind. A wise guy, my third eye is open. I saw the sign. There's plenty of generous Satanists, feminists, endless menaces of penniless entanglements. I'm past prime, gaslit and masculine. Cashing in on cloud nine, they call it privilege. Where's mine? I got sick and tired of a sick world. I just retired. I pick and choose my battles, climate denier. Coping with your coping skills, I'm in open rebellion. Hoping for change to occupy what both of them are selling. Shoveling bullshit just to dig us out the avalanche. Didn't really have a chance, I just like to rant. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me.
Don't give up. Everyone is cured. Everyone is cured.
Lashing out, a verbal machete with my own scars. Cashing out, every petty man bet his own heart. Don't start what you can't complete. The devil's in the details, man, and I repeat. Bad behavior like my personal saviors, a taser gun. Sooner or later, I'll be famous when my days are done. There's plenty of fire-ruling militant dictators with their dicks out, dictating the latest trippiest trip out. Well, check it out, the ego has a gift of believing delusions. I'm getting used to it, don't bother seducing me. The whole world, I wanna fuck the whole world till it gets old. A pound of the sickness, I'll pinch of the cure. Infidels with intelligence, only impaired by indecisions. Incisions and slip into cognition like a religion. The human condition, our fucking sick of society, man. Poisonous inside diet written on the side of the can. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me.
Don't give up. Everyone is cured. Everyone is cured.
You still got utopian dreams. I'm still hoping for real things, but really I hope you deal with those personal things and those feelings. I took a look at my life and realized I'm in a world of hurt, which makes me the perfect specimen. Such a jerk. My well-being is well-meaning and well, I'll see you later. In the doggy-dog world, pussy's my personal savior. Shout out to my haters and anyone else who might remember. I'm sick of a sick world. Fuck the pretenders. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me. I'm sick of a sick world. Please cure me.
Worrying about it all day. It's not just a question of losing Africa.
For the first time, the territory of Oceania itself is threatened by invasion. It's inconceivable.
There you go. Written in 2018, recorded in 2019, performed in 2020.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I felt like a prophet. I was like, in 2018, I'm like, sick whales, yeah. And then I was living in Nanaimo with Shelby, and there was a music producer, Rob the Viking, known as the producer of Swollen Members. And he had a music studio in Nanaimo we got hooked up with, got in the music studio there, and that song was produced. Like, I did the beat, but he did the, engineering. Rob the Viking produced that track. And then in August of 2020, just days after peeling stickers, I was parading around Niagara Falls in a clown outfit, barefoot, producing this music video, which had already been recorded 1 year earlier. Couldn't afford the mastering. It costs like $500 to master, right? So eventually, thanks for that Justin Trudeau money, CERB money paid for this video. All right. That's the end of this story. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
What's the other tune? I want to hit that one on the way out.
You want to go out on one track?
The
one
with
track.
Shelby's in it.
That's it's a little harder to bring up because it's oddly named.
All right.
Type in hashtags in the sky, one track. See if that works for you, cowboy. Giddy up. And there we go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I am WTF Niagara at WTF Niagara. But hopefully that will be irrelevant, and you will find me at Axiometric Games. I prior didn't want to reveal my video game name because I'd get canceled. Anyway, here's our video. Enjoy. Goodbye.
Peace out. Nice job, brother.
Do, but not what 7 can. When I level out, I may be the better man. Head full of heavy metal, no dental plan. Never thought about the president till the devil ran. I'm just not tired, I'm up all night. It's not insomnia, I'm shook from my last fight. Crack open the window, maybe you would look in. No sleep for days, forever till Brooklyn. My speakers are sleepless, boom goes the beat. A sound in my head replays on repeat. 222 333, 444, I still can't sleep. I don't toss and turn, I stare at the ceiling. It's not insomnia, it's just my way of
Fuck, dude, what the fuck?
feeling. I got my mind on my money, my money's in overdrive. And if I could catch
This is a
wave, then
tight
this song would
tune,
be
man. I
over
don't care what you
fast.
say. Fucking great beat.
10 things on my mind. One track at a time. One track at a time. I can't sleep at night. 10 things on my mind. One track at a time. One track at a time.
We sleep a third of our lives, so I guess I'm up 33 cents in the dollar. But this stuff is hurting me. A one-track mind, 10 trains of thought. You break it, you buy it, so I'm broken and bought. I have work in the morning, so fuck me, right? It's not insomnia, I'm up all night to get lucky, right? Yeah, I'm the luckiest, but not feeling too sharp. And maybe I pushed this a little too fucking far. Like a candle in the wind, I'm lit from both ends. I think I can burn out before all you folks can. Before this night ends, things will get personal. Like, this isn't the shit we went over at rehearsal. Why the reversal? Now I'm devastated. It's not insomnia, it's Mercury in retrograde. Man, I'm fucking faded. This is the third night this week, so I put a gun to my head just to get some sleep.
With insomnia, nothing is real. Everything is far away. Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
I can't sleep at night. 10 things on my mind. One track at a time. One track at a time. till I marry one. Move over, babe, you're hugging half the bed and snoring so loud you could wake the dead. Backaches all day, I'm woke saying ouch. I can't fucking sleep on the living room couch. We moved west together, wasn't supposed to go south, dude. It's not insomnia, just a mountain of doubt. You got a one-track mind and 10 trains of thought, and some of the time I'm in a state of shock. Like fate was forgotten and Cupid was shot in the back. I'm feeling all that, but we still never finished that one track. That one track. That one track. That one track.
Fucking hot vid, man.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh fuck no, that's tight, man. That's the one I like.
We were very proud. We were proud
Oh, dude.
of that
you fucking
accomplishment.
nailed
That was a
one.
huge step. Also produced by Rob the Viking.
Right.
Although I made the beat, but we engineered it at the Chamber Studio in Nanaimo, British Columbia. A wonderful place to be. Yeah, thanks for sharing it.
Well,
I guess
dude,
it
I
is
was
a
just,
bit of a
I was
reminder.
thinking when I was watching that, what are we coming up on 2 hours? That's how you do
Yeah.
a fucking show right there, bro. You come out,
What's that?
you fucking tell people what's up, you get vulnerable, you share something important that can help someone, you fucking put it out there, and you declare to the universe what your new possibility is moving forward, man.
Look at this fan.
So
in the background.
it takes a lot of courage, man. I'll give you that. It's very brave to come out and do what you did, and I give you props.
There's a
You
fine line
always-
between courage and stupidity.
Well, I would say keep up what you're doing. I enjoy you inspire me, and then you make me feel incompetent because I can't put words together like you do, and whatever. Maybe you
Get
can.
out of here. Get out. of here.
No, I'm kind of sticks and stones caveman guy when I tweet. Get my point across, but I don't go I don't get all poetic like that, man. I don't know those words, so I know them. I just they don't come naturally for me. So when I read your stuff, I'm like, "Fuck, this kid's bright, man. He's got a way of putting
Thanks,
things."
man.
And I know,
Golly.
no, because I know what it takes to put a tweet together to make sure everything's spelled right and you're not, tagging the wrong guy or some shit. So,
That's right.
when I look at your stuff, I go, "Fuck."
There's like a
pretty
Greg Miller
good.
with 1.2 million followers.
Who?
There's like this other Greg Miller. It's like, oh fuck, I tagged the
fuck,
wrong
yeah,
Greg Miller.
No, that's fucked. That's
It's like this British pop singer, Greg Miller.
No, I used to treat it so seriously. Like,
All right, we're at 2 hours. Let's get out of here.
I can't remember the last time I felt this when I tweeted, but I used to take it so seriously. Well, because I had a bigger account, right? I had 15,000 people on my Twitter, so I got reaction. So before I press send, I'd get fucking stressed out.
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck's this? What am I doing to myself? Not stressed out, like an adrenaline rush, like a flush, boosh. The heart's going, and you're thinking, what the fuck am I doing this for? I don't need
those
this right now. I
fluctuations are
don't.
hard to concentrate
Yeah, when the
through, I find.
adrenaline comes, you can't. It's pretty evident, right? And I'm like,
That's what I
why
mean.
am I
If
forcing
tweet- if I
myself
tweet
to
at the
have
beginning of the day, the rest of
15
the day, I'm
adrenaline
like,
rushes every
has
day?
the reaction. Has the reaction. If I don't tweet at all, then I'm not thinking about the reaction, and I can actually fucking do my job.
There you go. Amen,
So
man.
Maybe that's what I'll be doing for the next few weeks.
Yeah,
until the
baby.
next thing that unsettles me.
Well, I'll leave you with a question. How can I help? You need something, I can deliver on it. Just let me know what it is, and
Wow, what a
I'll
question. Thank you, Joe.
I'll put
I don't
you
know how
together
to answer
with,
that, but I appreciate
I'll put you
asking.
together with the people that'll make it happen, I made a bunch of calls the other day. Most of them were apology calls, like basically, I'm sorry, I'm a prick. I get hurt, and I become a prick. Well, I just cut you out, right? So it's just like, or I make snap decisions about people I don't know. I had that conversation with someone lately. I'm like, yeah, I made you, this happened, and that was stupid. I'm sorry. I made 4 or 5 of them the other day. But anyways, no, I want to leave you with that. How can I help you, man? And it'll come to you when it does. And I will deliver for you. You're my
You
guy.
already did. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, no, that was great.
And
Well
moving
done,
forward, I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
All right. I love you. Get out of here.
Cheers, man. Have a great night.
Peace
Enjoy
out,
the
yeah.
beach.
All right. I'll do that tomorrow for you. I wasn't recording this. So that's how you do that. Sandor Ligetfalvy. Ligetfalvy. Say it with me. Ligetfalvy. Sandor. It's spelt Sandor, but it's Sandor. Okay. That's how you do that. Fucking 2 hours with Sandor. Nice. Well done, brother. Holy fuck. You know, I tell all my guests when they come on the show, listen, if, you know, break some news, break some hearts. No, I don't say that, but yeah, that's really what you want to do. You want to touch someone with your testimony. What else do we have? Fucking tell your story, man. That dude just told his story. Fuck. Talk about getting naked in front of the public. You come out here and, well, there's 4 people watching now on different platforms. There's 4 people watching on 6 platforms, so well, it's not that risky, I guess, eh, Sandor? But that's how you do that. And I play my part half decently well. I had to run my air conditioner since fucking 10 o'clock this morning to make sure that, look, I'm actually, like, it's the tiny little air conditioner. Oh, done it. And it's fucking Africa. Hot as Haiti down here. But that's how you do that. That was a serious fucking show. Or yeah, we're at 2. You know, somebody gave me like ×2 the other day. Because I only wear these glasses to like see at night when I'm driving, like long distances, like things that are far away. And my computer screen even sharpens up a little bit. But lately, I haven't changed the text on my phone, but it's not fucking clear. And so somebody gave me at the bar the other day, and these are my broken glasses because I sat on my other glasses the other day. Thank God I brought these with me. Yeah, they gave me their 2 times magnifying cheaters. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is beautiful. Shit. I remember when I was 35 and I figured out I needed glasses. Brad Sheen and I were driving to Ellicottville, and he could see the sign clearly much further down the road than I could, and I was fucking devastated. I need glasses? I couldn't fucking believe it. So anyway. Yeah. 2:02:34, because the other night, when I did my drunk broadcast that I left running. So get this, I left my show run as long. I should just cut this broadcast and come back later and tag this on poor Sandor show. But I left my my music running, so it ended up a 12-hour show, and I can't edit it now, and it got blocked, and I can't even record it. I can't put it. I can't. Well, I could watch it all and record it on my phone for 2 hours and 15 minutes. But that's a lot of fucking time and effort, and my notifications would be going off the whole time, and then I'd have to, I'm like, fuck that. So that could be a lost episode because it's blocked on YouTube, it's blocked on Facebook, it's unwatchable on Twitter because it's too long, I think, and I didn't record it. So it is what it is. All right. Peace. Love. Hug your neighbor. Should I go out with want some? Or just say goodnight? I'll give you an old good night now. No? Want some? I think you're right. Want some's a good call. To all the Sandor fans, this is Matt McPherson. Tune he worked on for a long time. 2 years, actually. 2 years he worked on this. It's called Want Some, and it's one of my favorites. Thank you, Sandor. Nice job, man. Peace out.
Good night now.